What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Couple Things Interviews.
With Shawn and Andrew.
Today we have, I would say, one of our best friends. He might not say that back to us, but we have the incredibly funny comedian, John Crist.
John was a guy that I strived to be friends with for years, and then we actually became friends with him.
Yeah.
And now we've known him for 7 years or so.
Yes.
And he's delightful. I actually enjoy his conversations off camera more than I do the conversations we have with him on camera. He is incredibly thoughtful, always has an interesting perspective. And yes, he is hilarious, but he's also like worth listening to. And if you listen to the things that he says, I think you'll be challenged. He's definitely experienced a lot in his life, had challenges of his own. And we talk about a lot of it. So I hope you glean something new from this conversation with John, maybe something that you pull away from. If you do, share it in the comments and let us know if you want more guests like John and who that might be. We're open to recommendations. But thank you, John, for your time, and thank you for listening. Let's roll into this one.
You said you had a conversation. You can drink your coffee.
Do you mind if I actually sit there in between you guys? I just feel bad. I'd feel better just as a guest. I feel like I just feel better. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
No, you can go back to your other seat.
I will. Yeah.
Okay. You said you had a conversation with Lydia. Are we saying Lydia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
Oh my God.
You have to do about 13 seconds of research to figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where you had a conversation where you didn't feel like you could talk about something and not feel shame.
Yep.
Have you always been able to do that?
No.
How long did it take you to get through that?
Oh.
And do you think that comes with having a supportive partner, or do you think that comes with a whole lot of things?
I'm a man of faith, so become from how God feels about you, and then how you feel about yourself, and then a partner can obviously do significant things to tear that down or build that up. But I think it was in. I was told the story where when I went to rehab in 2019. They would come in there, and these people obviously know everything about you and every secret you ever have. You tell them your whole story, and they go, "We're proud of you for coming in here." And you're like, "What?" Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the opposite of what the religion I grew up in. They're like, if you're bad, you're excluded, you're made a poor choice. Especially a lot of religious, there's a lot of shame, and they would incur all day. It was like the second place I went to rehab. It was like a step down facility. So it was kind of 9 to 5. So you go 9 to 5, do all the classes, and then you go home to an apartment complexes in Hattiesburg. And then you had your phone, and I was so uncomfortable with them saying that they were proud of me, that I was a good person, that I would get on Twitter and go find bad stuff about me. Does that make sense? Because that is how I felt. That's what y'all probably saw the tail end of. You were like, you guys are like, "You're a good guy. Do we love hanging?" I was like, there's no way. Because I didn't feel that about myself. So how are you ever going to believe someone else if they say that about you? There's no possible way. And every time you get something good, they're like, oh, they just probably needed, you get invited to like a celebrity game or whatever. They're like, oh, somebody probably backed out. You would like, that's a funny example, but you would by default put yourself down. I don't know why. Maybe it's safer.
It makes me think that's like a really powerful side effect of a healthy marriage, I think, is the reduction of those false narratives that you can start stacking, where it's like, whoa, I'm around this person all the time. I've tried to do a better job. It just does not come naturally to me to say, John, I'm all up in my head about this. And I've done a better job, I think, the last like 6 months. And she'll be like, oh, hey, don't worry about it. Actually, there was something that happened like 2 years ago. You won't remember it. But like, I was like palm sweating, nervous all the time. And I just, after a while, brought it to Shawn. She's like, no, it's no big deal. This is just what happened. I was like, oh, snaps you out of it. And you're like, I can start to see the light through the smoke. And you're like, okay.
That's actually, yeah.
But I'm curious that is a massive responsibility too. And it takes a lot of awareness and practice, I think. But as far as, Shawn saying you're a good guy, you're saying that feels good. Do you think you were good at your profession because of that desire that you have for people pleasing, or do you think that that's a unfortunate quality that you bring to your profession. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's we've got me and like some of the I'm like one of the top like 5 of like touring comedians, and then like unfortunately
bro. Okay.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying like that. I'm not saying like that. But like the top, I'm on. I wouldn't say I'm the top 5 currently, but I'm other 4.
I'm the GOAT.
Live here. Like all the other ones are like you're like I'm at the top of the list, and all the other ones are my buddies that are.
Yeah.
So it's like when we talk about that all the time about how like you wouldn't like, for example, if another comic lists like if I'm in an unhealthy spot, we've joked about this before. They're like shows sold out in Austin, Texas. You would go to their website, see what the venue is, Google the capacity, and then go to Ticketmaster and like look up the seating chart to see how many tickets they've sold.
You're doing that when you see other comedians sell their
when
stuff
when I'm unhealthy.
Yeah.
That you just go and I don't think you I don't think you become great at this job without. I don't think if you're a professional basketball player, you LeBron James, you see what Steph Curry's doing, and you go, I got to be better. I think that's what makes. Certainly, as an athlete, you would have something to say on this topic. You certainly go see the. I know you always like who do you hate, the Russians or who's your rival?
This would be an interesting conversation because I would debunk you.
You would,
yeah.
My competition's just me, or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was never allowed to watch my other competitors.
You weren't.
If you go back and watch, I was like in a corner. And I would not watch.
You wouldn't hear the news about like, there's a lot of chat, a lot of nasty Lucan chatter out there.
I think my biggest competitor was Nastia, and so like we would push each other. But outside of that, no.
You wouldn't. Yeah.
Well, how do you view the other competitors?
You don't want to compete against them?
For sure.
She got a 9.76 on the uneven bars or whatever, and you're like, I gotta get her.
It was a different psychological conversation back in the day because I was a child. So like the strategy from my coach and like my entire plan was to keep distractions at a minimum and say this is the score we're trying to beat. We're going to go beat it in any way possible.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to watch them to figure out how to do it. I'm going to do it in my own way.
Them. Yeah. I think the comparison to or like wanting approval. I think Jerry Seinfeld talked about it. He's like, if you got this at birth, you got this gift basket. You're going to be a great businessman. You're going to be ultra competitive. It's also going to come with, I would say mine. Let me put mine. You're going to be very funny, going to be very observant about the culture, but it's also going to come with a little bit of depression. It's also going to come with a little bit of jealousy or comparison. Would you take this whole basket? And I would say 10 times out of 10. Does that make sense? It's going to come with some other things. If you're going to become great, it's unfortunately going to come with some other qualities that in your personal life probably are not helpful for you.
So how do you continue the profession and still progress your personal life without falling not victim, but like falling back down a slippery slope?
Did Lydia give you this question?
No.
Ask him about this, please. I would say, all right, so if I have I would say I have an idea of a video that I want to make. Okay, am I making it out of, I think God gave me this ability to look at the culture and verbalize it in a way that other people are like, yes, thank you, or that they appreciate it, that it inspires other people, makes them laugh, you're helping, versus I need to get back in the algorithm, or I need some, I need to fire up this engine to get some my validation. So you just kind of have to be honest with it. Why are you making this? And you kind of have to look yourself in the mirror a little bit. And sometimes I just want to get back in that algorithm. I don't like when people come on podcasts or like, I do an ice bath every morning. I'm like, no, you're not a regular person, dude. It'll be a normal person. I still struggle with it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Then you go, gosh, I want to be, I want to get invited to the thing. Just I think me and Lydia, it was some like, I like to write jokes and tell jokes. That's like on my right above my door. Write jokes and tell jokes. So all the other stuff is if getting invited to the red carpets, presenting the award. That is the celebrity golf tournaments. That is all second. So we're like, I need to go. If I'm trying to think of something that I would say that she'd be like, no, I need to go to this. I need to make an appearance of this thing. I need to go to the Daytona 500. It'll be good for my exposure. You're like, stop. I just want to go there. A lot of people recognize me there. I'm popular there. I have a good time. She goes, yeah, all right. As long as you can admit that, you gotta have a good time.
I like that.
Yeah. Versus
the accountability side of it.
Yeah. Did I tell you that story about the Range Rover?
No.
When I was in rehab, I had Honda Civic, and then when I got canceled, I had to come back 6 months later for like a recheck, and I came back with a like blacked out
black Range
Rover, and my therapist was like, "What's going on here?" And I go into this like. I go, well, I like drive a lot of long distances, and I need like a safe car because there's like semi trucks around, and then like I play a lot of golf, and I can't really have like trunk. I need it, and they just go, "You're lying," and they go home, think about that, and we'll talk tomorrow.
Dang.
Those are my only instructions, and I went home and I go, all right, I feel like I was on top professionally. I got notched down a bit, and this. Having this car would be like, oh, that guy must be. And when I picked up a girl on a date, or when I pulled into a valet, I was a little insecure. This feels good. And they go, do you have enough money for that? I go, yeah. Are you hurting anyone else by having that? I go, no. They go, have a good time. All they wanted to do was get you to be honest with yourself. And then they did. It wasn't like if my kids couldn't go to school because they would be like, all right, this Range Rover might be a problem. But they were like, all right. You're free to go.
But you thought maybe their response would have been like shaming, like, oh, you're so arrogant, or this is so unnecessary.
Or we need to work on this, or maybe there's some things to unpack from your childhood. Or they were like, all right, all good.
Do you feel like now that you had the big pivot moment, you did the therapy sequence, is there a temptation to think like, I'm good?
Yeah, that's why I try to say that I'm still I follow up everything I say with like, nah, I still just want to get attention on the internet.
Yeah.
Just because I'd be going to church sometimes and the pastor's like, I just really was struggled this week. I got an extra shot of espresso and then I parked in the handicapped parking spot. I was like, that cannot be your biggest problem. Surely. You have worse thoughts than that.
Yeah.
But that's what I think comedy is just verbalizing the things that you think out loud.
Is there a downside to, you mentioned like the depression. Why is there a correlation there?
I think it would, like, my girlfriend would like, I walk around and I'm like very emotional. Why are you laughing?
Why
are you laughing at that, babe?
Yeah, Sean. Wow.
He's trying to share.
I think thank you, dude.
We're just two guys trying to share right now.
She's like, I'm very emotional. That you like ingest everything. Like we go, like, I can't, like, I was like, gosh, that guy with the loud muffler. Lydia was like, just let it go. I was like, I need to go talk to him. She's like, no. Or like the news, you watch it, it's all very heavy, you know, like things that have happened in Nashville, like tragedies. It's all, I like ingest them all. And then I try to like synthesize it into like maybe comedy or humor where it could be, but sometimes it doesn't come out. It just kind of gets stuck in there. And then you're just like, why is the world this way? Everybody's the worst. Everybody has bad intentions. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? You just kind of go around in there, and that's it. Yeah. When I'm not in a good place.
2 questions I have. Is comedy in a twisted way a little bit? Are comedians filled with pain?
1000%.
And it's just like a masking technique to deal with it?
I don't even know if it's masked, but yes, I got it. Yeah. All right.
I don't think it's masked. I don't think it's masked unless I'll never forget. We went to your first show back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
And I remember.
That was wild. Dude.
The Prius and the Prius joke with the you're dating somebody or you pull back into your dad's house with a Prius. And,
yeah, I got to bring that joke back.
Yeah, that was a
good.
good one.
But I'll never remember sitting there as your friends, listening to it and watching everybody who didn't know you laugh so uncontrollably at funny jokes. When it's like your friend sitting there, listen to certain jokes and you're like, dang, that's actually like, that's true.
Yeah.
And like, it's actually a personal experience. And that's actually like a really dark thing that you went through. But you're making it so light and people are so funny. Does it help you heal through things that you are going through? Or is it just a way to like
a cope or like I have this joke about my dad, about how like my dad he was a real like manly man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not. And he would be like, hey John, like he was like, John, like go, it's one of my favorite, it's an old joke. He said he was working on something in the garage and he's like he goes, John, go get me the Phillips. And I came back with the neighbors. It's a stupid joke, but it comes from a real insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
Like my brothers would always be working with my dad and I was more into like theater or like art. I wasn't really like I remember drilling, pound, like hanging out with my dad. That comes from a real wound, not a wound, but just like a reality that I wasn't even really interested in that. And so I'll make a joke. 1,000 people are like dying laughing. It is very therapeutic.
Okay.
And I still love to tell jokes that have meaning like that to me.
So you're not sacrificing yourself to not heal in order to be funny. So it actually is like a coping mechanism or like a healing
100%.
thing for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you see things in the culture, like our podcast, you just see things, you're like for real angry about them. DoorDash is offering financing now. That's 100%.
Wait, for the meals that you order?
Yes, you can finance your and I go
delivery.
Yes. So if you're like getting a Chipotle instead of like $15, you can do like if $7.50 this month, $7.50 or I don't know what. And I go, that to me is a gigantic red flag.
Yeah.
A gigantic. I was like, this is terrifying. It genuinely. Now we try to massage it in a way, but I'm really angry about that. But you make it fun because that's it. You're like, does everybody else feel that? Am I insane or is this the wildest thing I've ever seen? If everybody's like, yeah, dude, we need financing for like Chipotle, I was like, what? But it comes from a real place of, I don't know. I think Lydia can just like see things. She works in the news. She can just see things. She has to disconnect from it because she's reporting on like she was reporting on like murder every night. And sometimes I go, babe, I can't like watch it. I can't keep. It's too much. It's too heavy. It's too. I just wear it so like deeply. But I think that is good if you watch any of the greatest comics. And look at the run that Nate Bargatze's been on. Some of his observations about his relationship, about his daughter, about him as a husband is so unbelievable that he must wear that so heavily. Otherwise, you wouldn't make a joke about it.
Interesting.
You write about what you think about. The great comics do. You write about. That's why I keep coming back to topics about faith, but I feel like I talk more about as you get older, you start paying a lot of money in taxes, and you go, I would like to have something to say about what's going on here. When you're a kid, you don't think about that. You don't care about it. So every topic is something that I care about deeply. It's a joke, but it's not a joke.
Which, I mean, we talked about this the other day, John, the whole idea that everyone kind of needs therapy and has to have some coping mechanism. So what are we doing? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Everybody needs to have something. Whether if you're in the airplane.
I know what he's talking about.
Oh, do I?
Well, we John and I were just kind of going back and forth.
Yeah, Shawn, you weren't a part of this. If you're in the airplane, you're sitting up there, and somebody's on like watching YouTube loudly, and you're like, and you look around to see if anybody, and then this guy goes, and you go, yeah, thank you. Like if you're in the group text about your kids' game or whatever, and some mom puts something wild in there, which I'm sure happens. You text the other mom that's your friend. You're like, I can't believe, just because you either disagree or think that's a wild thing to say versus of your what you would say would be acceptable, and you're like, surely somebody else, and then you go, oh, okay, I feel. But you're looking for some kind of stability in life or to try to navigate it somehow. You need some support.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what comedy, when it's done well, it should help you.
Well, it's almost like a more public version of, it's a more useful version of gossiping in a certain way. I'm thinking like gossip is like this angsty, useless thing
meant to tear down.
Yeah. But like in your profession, you're like taking that thing that people usually say behind the doors, and say, what was the example you gave of the couple, the CPAP machine thing?
Where, you know what
I'm saying?
Yeah, with I was at Tim Hawkins. It was his show. I went to see him, and he started talking about the CPAP machine. He's like, isn't that heightened boost romantic environment? He's like, I sound like Darth Vader. Hey babe, put on your nicest outfit. And he was doing this whole thing. I was sitting out at the side stage. I saw a couple sitting in the front. This was more than laughter. These people were undone, because that has obviously been a point of difficulty. He probably has a lot of shame about it, because that's embarrassing. She's probably feeling lack of connection when he has to put it's like that has become a barrier in their relationship.
Yeah.
He put it in a way that, like, gossip would be her going to her other friend that her husband has one, to be like, I can't believe these guys. And that would bring them apart. This, in a way, would bring them together.
Yeah.
In a healing way.
Yeah. That's really powerful.
Comedy's not always, it doesn't always work out like that. But when it does, it's the best. Yeah.
We're talking about that, and then the parenting tips from John and Andrew.
Now we're talking, dude. Now I like to go on a parenting podcast.
Well, just the whole Tiger Woods, Andre Agassi vibe of,
you
know, the father. How I was actually talking. Jet had his first baseball game this past week.
Yeah.
T-ball.
But do we talk about remember your strategy?
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about?
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Yes.
Like, see, I knew.
That's you can't say that on a podcast. You can't say that on a podcast. It's the wildest thing I've ever heard.
You can't?
No, say it. Please say it. I'll back you up, dude. I'll back you up.
Well, we were just going back and forth, and I think I had just finished Andre Agassi's book, Open, which is phenomenal, but it's all about how his dad just really overdid it on putting him on the tennis court.
Yep.
We just bumped into Andy Roddick too, so it's top of mind. Tiger Woods.
Yep.
So he's in the news.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about him and his dad, who also over pushed him.
Yep.
And then I was just thinking about how, like, we talk about therapy, do BetterHelp, do marriage counseling. We all need it.
It was said in jest.
We know we all need it.
But and also kind of serious. No, go ahead. We'll be quiet. Me and Shawn, hey, we're going to be quiet. Go ahead, Andrew.
The thought occurred, like, hey, if we all need therapy and counseling, we might as well get therapy and counseling with, a couple green jackets, U.S. Open championships, and a couple $1 million. You know what I'm saying?
We'll know exactly what the kid's problem is.
Yeah.
So will the entire world, and they'll forgive it. Yeah.
Just go to the range.
The entire world will be like, it was a dad problem. And so at least it's open. At least potential spouses
know. You don't have to do years of soul searching.
No,
it's like,
at least you're crying, but you're on a yacht.
We all knew.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think my therapist said one time is that my kids are probably going to be in therapy because I've
for sure
therapize them. So we're like, no, I don't think any parent or child listening to this is like, no one's really getting out of this thing unscathed.
100%.
To your point.
We'll know exactly what the issue is.
Might as well pound in like my dad had to, he was worked on his dad's milk truck, got up at 4 a.m. And it was like, this is wild for a kid, but at least he has a great work ethic. That's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
He has no problem getting up early and working hard and working all day.
We know that this unhealthy input will lead to this output. That is very predictable.
I do want to say and
no,
add,
Shawn,
though.
no.
No, this is gonna this might surprise you. There was a clip of a podcast that I saw. It was called like the Healthy Sports Parent podcast, whatever.
It's probably in your network.
Where she was saying, like, you need to have a conversation with your middle, whether it's like a little older age, elementary or middle school kid, your athlete, and say, like, this is your thing, not my thing. Okay. Like, I'm not going to push you to, like, get there because this is your thing. Like, this is what a healthy sports parent should do. And it was actually shocking. Majority of the comments were taking Andrew's side. It is my job
to push him
to get that green jacket for my child. And I was like,
yeah, you were like the opposite of what we've been talking about. Everyone's literally, like, this is crazy. You go to the comments and they're all not what you thought.
No, they were literally like, my duty as a parent is to push them. Yep. Wow, so hard, and like to get them to that elite level and to get them to that NFL. And I was like, oh my gosh,
it's terrifying.
Here's a caveat.
Terrifying.
Yeah,
you will break a child.
Yeah,
I think there's a Venn diagram of talented kids and overdriving parents
that burn out and never succeed.
And I think there's way more overdriving parents than there are talented kids, right?
Yeah, that will never succeed.
And every once in a while, the stars align, and you get a parent who pushes their kid, and the kid is Tiger Woods, and then you get a generational talent.
And you go, look at.
And he got really lucky, but still he's got trauma. But then what ends up happening is you have kids who end up falling in love with the sport, who probably aren't the God-given talented people, who have supportive parents. And that ends up working out. But like the most talented sometimes won't ever get a shot because their parents will break them before they get there.
Dang, that's a fact right there. And I think if you go, I mean, my parents, I think what's funny about the premise you have is that it seems like now is you are 3 weeks in, you're like, I'm not going to be starting. You're like, I'm quitting. And you're saying, we're not quitting, and that we're not. Yeah, you're not quitting. Like that's why everybody gets so frustrated with the NIL, and they go, "Well, I'm not an A1 all-star. I'm not a star. I'm gonna sit for 3 years, learn how to become great.
Right?
There's none of that. So everybody just goes, like, oh, the coach didn't. It was a little bit of a tough love, or he like ended up, nope, I'm out. And that's what you're saying. The parents go, you're not. Now I've heard like we're gonna sit down in the spring. And if say you want to play tennis, we're going to decide that now.
For sure.
If you do, you're not quitting.
For sure.
And we can decide again next summer if you want to keep going.
Yes. But ultimately it will be your choice.
Yeah, but here's I really think though
you're now on a parenting podcast.
It makes little to no
let's
difference.
Listen to John Crist about parenting. Yeah, no, hold on.
Back to the narrative thing. It's like that kid, I could be the best dad ever and then have one moment where I say, Jet, don't do that because he's standing on a dangerous thing or whatever. And he's like, my dad used to yell at me. You know what I'm saying? And then you're like, well, what are we doing anyway? So
might as well
stack the U.S. Open, dude.
But again, to a certain extent,
I like how that's very, very, very arrogant to be like, our kid's obviously gonna win, like as if that's on the table. Might as well win a few great jackets while we're at it. As if that's
they're not going to be golf. I think the last time we golfed, I shot 120 or something like that.
Might as well. Yeah.
But the thing I will say is, you gave a great example saying you and your brothers were different.
Yep.
You favored theater.
Yep.
Whereas your other brothers are over there with drill sets and like whatever. I do believe every child has a God-given talent and interest in something.
Yep.
And it's our duty as parents to help them find whatever that is and to help foster that.
Agreed.
So Jet is our 3-year-old. Bikes.
Yep.
Don't know how and don't know why. It's bikes. We didn't push that on him. He literally stole a bike from his older sister, and that's all he wants.
He's into bikes. Yeah. Yep.
Now, if we spend the rest of our lives pushing him to be a football player, that's not fair to him.
I agree.
Because his interest is in bikes. So it's our job to help figure out how he can get every opportunity he wants in that world.
Jet down a bit. Listen, there's no money in bikes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got you, dude. Yes.
But I think that's what's like missing.
No money
now.
in bikes, like... Jet. Okay, we got to wrap this up, bud. You ever heard of the famous mountain biker? No, you haven't.
No?
Let's get in there in the weight room. No, my brother. Heads up.
Oh my
Holy
gosh.
crap.
Sorry.
Speaking of,
You just put a hole.
what
Oh,
was
that
it?
broke.
Oh wow. All right, we're good. I'll
You
screw
take it off there.
Stand up with Andrew.
Oh yeah. Me and my brother have talked about this all the time. We went to Walmart or something, I don't know, and there was a that you can buy a bike in Walmart. You know, there's a bunch of there's a kid riding one, and my brother, me and my brother as adults have talked about this. He goes, Dad, can I get a bike? And my dad said, we don't have any money. And my brother has gone on to be like a world class works in finance, and he felt that, to your point, that
interesting.
I was there. I was and it didn't connect with me.
Yeah.
He goes, he was so embarrassed that we don't have money, and he hated that feeling so much that he from that I mean, he was like in high school, he had like his own vending machines. He was like doing like business deals with, and he's wildly successful. And he said it's because of that.
Interesting.
And I was there, and my temperament or my whatever you say, however I was born or whatever, it wasn't trauma for me. It was for him. The exact same situation. So I think I'm not a parent, but you can't be, I have to, they're gonna get it.
Yeah. Well, and
somehow.
It's the whole idea of like, no, and we could try whatever we want. But like, our kids are their own little people.
Yeah.
They have their own little things.
Yep.
We can't create that life like whatever.
And I've talked some of the stuff in my book about my own, and my siblings are like reading it like, what? They're like, we were there, and I don't remember.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's these memories in there that I was like, so I've been being bullied, and they were like, we don't remember it like that, or like you know, because you took it as like that Walmart. So we're like, that's the end of the world. So I think I would imagine as a parent, you can't. It would be almost next to near impossible to escape out of life with no.
Well, but then, so I'm in this like men's group, and they're all 50 years old, 20 years or so older than I am, talking about their parenting experiences. And the realization hit me that I could be a really good parent for one kid in one phase, maybe. But then I could be that could be the worst parenting style ever for that same kid in a different phase, or a different kid in that same phase. And you're like, this is going to be an uphill battle all the way. And
there's no way. Yeah.
For the rest of our life.
Yeah. It's just humbling where you're like, okay, it's humbling. I guess that's
to try to, because I was one of 8 kids. Everybody was disciplined the same way.
Right.
And I also had like a bunch of like learning disabilities. We were homeschooled. I was like, they were like, sit down, read this chapter. And I was like, all my other brothers were outside playing because we were homeschooled. They were outside playing by like noon. I was sitting in there till 4. I couldn't. They were like, well, this is how school works. And you're like, well, this kid learns different than this kid. We can't, it's impossible. I was a journalism major in college because I was like, I could sit down and write a paper in 10 minutes. A 50-page paper I could just write in 10 minutes. But I could never read a book, learn the lessons in it, and then take a test on it. My brain just doesn't work. And I've been lucky, probably similar to your kids. I've been lucky to find a thing that my brain works great at. I don't even know if I would consider myself otherwise pretty close to unemployable.
No.
Yes. I found this thing, and I'm like I had a job in marketing. I was like, it worked in sales. I always describe it as like I could never I would be decent at sales, but I would never send the invoices. I would forget to track it in the Excel. I couldn't do any of that. I said it was like running on a moving sidewalk, but it was going this way. And I was like making a little bit of progress, and then I found stand up. I was running, and then it was going the same way. And now we're like,
yeah. Do you think everybody has that moving walkway? Yeah. You think? I agree, dude.
Everybody.
I think you just got to get reps at trying and failing, and then
you have to find your thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta.
And I also don't. And I don't know. I was just trying a lot of things before I found stand up. I was just like experimenting with a lot of. I was volunteering. I was teaching tennis. I was starting my own businesses. I was like. Then I happened to come into stand up, but I was very curious about. I was just unhappy in my current situation. So everybody's like, how did you find your dream? I go, I don't think I'm the guy to.
But I think that's exactly how you find your dream.
Yeah.
I think that's actually the biggest mistake people make is they think, oh, they find one thing they're good at.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I'm good at this, so this must be what I have to do. I actually think you need to try 100 and 500 things.
Yeah, agreed.
And figure out that whatever sucks, and that's not your thing. And keep finding something until you fell in love.
Just not bikes. I'm just joking.
I'm curious. So what's your take on all these like TikTok comedians? You know, like all this. Has that vibe always been there, or is the internet like all the social media creating comedians?
Well, so it's this. I think you know how like I think attention is a drug.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how else to say it. I don't think it's probably in the DSM-4 or something, but that is it has to be one of them. Because a lot of times people are just making content. I'm like, you don't believe this. You don't agree. You're just. And I was talking to one of my buddies. This is like 3 weeks ago. I don't really ever. We talked about how God, if you're a person of faith or a believer in Christ, he knows your thoughts, right? He knows the devil does not. He doesn't know what's inside your brain. He tempts you based on trial and error. So he'll throw things over to you. And somebody was like, I get really tempted by when I get envious of other people's vacations and how rich they are in their houses. I go, that's not mine. That's there. That's not mine. Is not that. But we said, there's a lot of like influencers, like the women that are like, you know, they say these outfits or like to not like look at. I was like, you just want to look good in that outfit. Then you're probably not going to go with me on this, but like, just be honest. And if you like, just be honest. This is not making you any money. I know how much money an influencer makes. You're like, this is not making you money. It's good attention and you look good and you want to just say that. And then we'll be like,
yes.
Here's a link.
Are you agreeing with that?
Here's a link to my bikini.
Yeah.
Oh, why would I disagree with that?
Yeah, I feel like people in the comments are going to be like, I can't believe you said that.
There's 1,000% an entire world of people who post something solely for the attention.
This is not making you any money. I know how much money you make on the internet, and this is not it.
No, but they're getting attention, and it's refueling their loneliness or their
need for validation
it's
or whatever
their crutch,
it is. Yeah,
for sure.
And if somebody also said, "Hey, what's going on here?" and an influencer said, "I'll be honest, I never felt beautiful, and I posted this, and I got a lot of likes, and I went down this road, and now Shein sends me a box of stuff, and I post about it, and they'll be like, all right, is it affecting your family? Are you being honest about your situation?" They'll be like, go for it. Similar to me with the rent, they're like, good for you. But if you're not being truthful, it's not even to us, it's to yourself. And I think that to your question about the TikTok comedians, it's like there's not much barrier to entry to start to get some attention. And I think somebody told me that you can't be a prolific comic before 40 because that's how long it takes to have something of worth, a point of view that you've lived enough years to be like, no, I don't, y'all need to hear this. And I think the greats are like, I'm not really doing this for attention. I mean, hopefully people embrace it and they like it, but like, y'all need to hear this. For some of the younger, they just, the attention feels good and they'll just go back to that. I mean, we talk about them on our podcast, I feel like all the time. You're like, this is a wild piece of content, but how many people have we seen come and go through our algorithm in the past 10 years?
Yeah.
And it's just like,
you're not about that life is maybe how.
Yeah, you ain't about that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're not committed to it.
What are you actually about? I'd love to sit down and talk about what but it's just like, well, it's also
trying to make a video that gets views or something.
It would also, that will not end well. But look, it didn't end well for me. Fortunately, I'm still alive. It wasn't the end of the story, but look where it took me.
John has alluded to this several times, but he's written a book all about his experience called Delete That. It's really good, dude.
Thank you, man.
It is really good.
Thank you, brother.
Proud
it
of
is
you.
kind of about this.
Yeah.
That's not what we were planning on talking about, but it is kind of about that.
Well, we are here to talk about your tour.
Yeah.
How many times can you go back to Utah, dude? Do they just love you out there?
Bro,
Dude,
the Mormons,
you just break it.
No, dude, I do love Utah, man. They like the Mormons like their comedy to be a little bit on the cleaner side.
Yeah.
I'm gonna convert actually.
So what can what can people look forward to in the tour, and how does it stack up to the Shawn and Andrew Couple Things tour?
Oh yeah.
God.
Wait, I came to your show.
I
remember that.
I know. Dude. I'll never forget. I was sitting up on the stage.
You know, we us three are the credit for Shannon Ford's comedy career.
Yeah?
Yes. Did you know this?
Because Shannon came to that show.
Shannon texted me. She goes, I'm thinking about doing a comedy show, but I'm not a comedian. I have this podcast. I go, well, Shawn and Andrew, they're very funny, great sense of humor. I wouldn't consider them comedians either. But come to this show and you could see and she did, and she started.
And she's crushing it.
Wow,
and she's crushing it.
If they could do it,
no,
wow,
yeah.
I could.
In terms of like, hey, you don't have to do like I've spent 10 years in the comedy clubs. Like, you don't have to. If you have a fan base and a following, they'll come out and see you open presents. They don't. They're like, this is awesome. And I think she went to that and she was like, oh, I thought I had to be.
Yeah.
Go to the bars and open mics for years. I go, you just do it. You can do whatever you want. And hers is a little bit more some traditional stand up, some Q&A, some interviews, and it's awesome.
That's awesome,
dude. I can't believe. Kudos to you for doing what you do. That tour revealed to me how uniquely stressful and uniquely rewarding the live shows are.
Yeah.
And also, if it was a live Q&A, I would crush that.
Yeah.
But if you're doing the bit for an hour and it's just you.
Yeah.
That's stressing me out. I hate it. It makes me uncomfortable. And I also, I don't know. It's not my vibe. So I can't.
Yeah.
When's your next Nashville show?
That's like you're running on the moving sidewalk.
Yeah, wrong one.
I got on it. I was like, this is unbelievable.
This is it.
I think we're going to. We can't reveal the venue, but we're coming in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we come?
I already know the venue. The way you phrased that, bro. Let's go.
No. We'll see.
Let's
Also,
go.
let me just. I'm also not a current top 5 touring comedian. I'm in the top.
Have you been thinking that the whole
20.
time?
Well, I just want to. If that gets clipped and they're like, "What? Here's the numbers."
Bro, top 20?
Well, all right.
Hold on, dude. Are you
the point
serious?
of it was to say the top 1 through 5 live here. It's like Theo, Nate, Leanne. They're all like my best friends. And the comparison wise, it's tough to be like, there's 10,000 comedians below me. But
how many comedians are there in the world?
Thousands.
And you would consider yourself top 20.
Think about that, dude.
That's incredible.
Congratulations.
That is cool. That is pretty cool. Yeah.
That's insane.
Think about that, dude.
Brother.
Let's go. Yeah, you can let that smile go. Let it fly, dude. Let it fly.
I just feel pretty good, man. That does feel pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you. It feels good. Yeah.
Wait, we're coming to your show.
Yeah, come.
Yeah.
Well, every Monday I do New Material Monday at Zany's.
Oh, really?
Not every Monday, but pretty close. Because that's when you go practice.
Yeah.
You throw out something and see if they like it.
Be about that life.
Yeah, about that life.
Do you think you and Nate will ever golf with me again? Or that was a bad day.
No, we'll do it again. We're going out to Troubadour.
Okay, sick.
You been down there?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
All right, John. I really do love talking with you, dude. Honestly, the way you're just super curious. You share ideas that are really from a unique perspective. You're honest, and that always leads to a good conversation. So thank you. Also, if you have not seen John do live comedy,
you have to.
I would highly recommend
He's
it.
really funny.
And say, if you come to the meet and greet, I always ask people how they got there, how they found me. And if you say, I came from Shawn and Andrew's podcast, that'd be the best. Dude, that would be the best.
Oh yeah, please do drop that. And then we're getting a referral bonus. You'll Venmo us every time.
100%.
Okay,
yeah, 110%. 10%. Yeah, sign a contract.
But we'll link information on his tour down below. A link to his book. He has a podcast and all the social stuff. We'll link that down below. But thank you for the time.
And you can feel free if the listeners can come over to my channels and then you just say. You watch my content and then decide if I was doing this for attention or if this is what I meant.
Call him out. Call him out.
Anyway. It seems like it was for attention. Yeah.
Thanks for the time.
Absolutely, brother.